Oh, look at these happy
Oh.
faces. There's so much joy. Thank you. And my brain broke for a second. Thank you for coming to join us on the finale of Gala of the Damned. You can tell I'm already in the proper mindset because my head's already just a mess of its own. But before everything else, because I actually wrote down what I need to do this time so I can do it properly, like an adult. Let's introduce this delightful cast. Don't make that face, Tom. We're going to start with you. Tom, please introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Tom. I am playing Lorenzo de Raya, the champion and duelist for hire, who is in so far over his head with his buddy Shirk, and hopefully will be coming out of this with his new bromance with the Admiral. Hopefully, we'll be living through this to go join the Navy. Apparently, we'll see how that goes. Both I and Lorenzo use he/him pronouns, and I am really looking forward to what is sure to be an absolutely chaotic finale.
That's yeah. Yeah. Lydia, I like that face that you're making that looks like slight discomfort. Please, you next.
It's because in my head currently there's a mix of the background music we have for Gala and after Tom's sentence, in the Navy, in the Navy. And I did not expect that from today, but I think at this point I should have learned to expect everything from this particular game, especially in the finale. Because, you know, I'm Lydia, I'm half Ars Tarmit, I'm playing Mari. We both use she, her pronouns, and we are delightful. I think that's it. That's all I can say.
So delightful.
I don't know what happened so far, but it was a bloody roller coaster.
You know what? You are delightful. I appreciate knowing you. I appreciate everything that Mari has brought here.
I hate how that sentence trailed off there, but I'm gonna take that half comment.
It was kind of a half-arsed compliment, but I thought that was fitting for you. So please, Raven.
Hi. Yeah, I'm excited for the finale. Hopefully Jessica gets to live through this, and I'm sure there will be lots of crazy shenanigans and probably leeches because it's the finale, so there has to be leeches. But when and how is the real question. But yes, I'm excited.
It doesn't have to be leeches, but
It has to be leeches.
Raven, we're gonna have to talk about you and leeches later. Justin, the person who has not brought up leeches, don't you dare.
What, leeches? Is that what you want? You don't want me to bring up leeches?
God, leeches.
And how? And I'm Justin. I'm Doc, and I'm playing Hieronymus Van Andel, code name Shirk, who is an enormous ogre. He's 9 feet tall and has the heart of a kitten, and he's also a con man and a bit of a brainiac and a good friend of Lorenzo's. He uses he/him pronouns. I use he or they pronouns, and I don't know, man. Like, so many things stick in my head about this campaign, and you got your fuzzy snakes, you got the Swinomicon, the pig book. There's so much weirdness happening, and I couldn't have asked for a better crew to do it with. So I hope all references come up today, all of them.
If y'all don't use that goddamn pig book.
I was telling Lydia earlier, it's the MacGuffin, right? It's the thing that's going to either solve this whole thing or kill us all.
And I told Gabe. Now I'm pretty sure Gabe. I told Doc. Gabe just went with it because someone brought it up and we attached it, but it has no relevance whatsoever.
Right,
No,
but
this
it's
is the
jerk
third
off
time I've had a
Swinomicon,
game.
right? It's got to come
This is-
into play at some point.
This is the third time I've had a game where I have a pig book about necromancy and no one has used it. So if y'all don't use it, the NPCs will. Anyways, hi Quinn.
Hi,
Who has it
hello,
at the
I'm
moment?
Quinn. I'm Quinn
Hi.
at Quintastic _ nope, I didn't nope at Quintastic _ on Twitter. I use she they pronouns and I've never done anything wrong in my entire life. I'm playing who am I today? Ronan Henley. Ronan uses they them pronouns. Ronan's fine.
That was the whole ass mood.
Mm-hmm. And I'm Gabe. I'm your dreadlord today. And y'all are worried about the cast, but you should be worried about me. They won't play with my pig book. They're betraying my children. They're pulling out acts of skullduggery to derail a story that isn't really on the rails in the first place. It's killing me. Thank you to those of you watching live, and thank you to those of you watching on YouTube in the future. For the past, I don't know, time is weird. Thank you as well to our sponsors. Thank you to our sponsors, World Anvil, where it's a great place where you can create a repository for your stories. Thank you to Zweihander for sponsoring the show, because without you, this wouldn't be possible. And you gave me a fantastic system to run this absolutely terrifying haunted house horror party thing. We'll see what happens. And last but not least, thank you again to Fantasy Grounds, which allows us to actually roll our dice in a controlled and concise area. Thank you to all of the sponsors. You have been fantastic for us. Also, just a quick note, there's a few more days in the casting call in Discord, so if you get a chance, go check out the Discord and look at that. Right after this game, we will have the one shot for Cult, so make sure you stick around. And after this week, it will have been our finale week. We will be taking 2 weeks off and coming back at the end of July. But I think I have talked enough, so I'm going to leave it to Past Charlie so I can terrify my characters more while Past Charlie does the talking.
Past Charlie here to tell you about a few of our sponsors. Fantasy Grounds is our virtual tabletop of choice, providing us access to roles, tokens, maps, and more. You can try it today for free at fantasygrounds.com. While you're there, why not check out Fantasy Grounds Unity? World Anvil is a remarkable resource, whether you're a writer, GM, or player, organizing your campaign notes or building an entire world. Get forging today for free at worldanvil.com. And before we get into today's game, we'd like to shout out our friends at Andrews McMeel Publishing, who published the wonderful game Zweihander. If you haven't checked that out, you can catch it here on Wednesdays. We'd also like to mention Modifius, who manage and produce a wide range of RPGs. Whether you feel like being Dishonored, exploring a tale from the loop, or boldly going with Star Trek adventures, why not check out Modifius.com.
Hello, and welcome back to the finale of Gala of the Damned. Now, do any of my players feel up to recapping just a general run-through quick of what happened last week? No?
Like emotionally
fine.
up to it?
Well, I didn't really care about that. Well, I'll explain it. So, last week, they decided that they were going to stand up to great. Yes, I am going to make you all sound ridiculous because you gave me this platform. They were going to stand up to a great evil as more like mice to a lion. But you know what? We are always rooting for the underdogs. They eventually decided that they were going to talk to Mephilia, who they discovered is actually the house that they are inside of, and technically can hear everything that they were saying, which is why the servants were able to act and function on sort of a hive mind mentality. The servants actually being mannequins that were infused with smaller versions of the magical circuit that Lucian had been working on. The players decided that they were going to reach out to the Admiral Leon Caldwick, the King's Advent, and the Duchess of Shadows, Lucian's dear cousin, to see if they could create an alliance to work against the Emperor, the one who is seemingly to be revived. And at the end, they did hear, well, they didn't hear, but the players discovered that there is to be a wedding between Logan Pilk and the Arcane Empress. An alliance of sorts where two strong powers come together to become something even greater. But right before the players saw that scene, they went down to the basement, the servants' quarters, to see a row and just dozens and dozens of mannequin figures standing there, some more human-like than others. And they called upon a sort of blood magic, both Mari and Ronan. And that magic flowed out. And then we start to see the eyes of some of these mannequins and servants light up. As Mephilia was granting this party the ability to use some of her children to fight a fight that will only last tonight. As we are nearing the last day of the Gala of the Damned. And oh, what a finale it will be. So, as all of you see, the eyes light up, about 30 of them walk in your direction. And then just stand there and wait. Glowing eyes.
Well, that's a neat trick.
Do we
Mari, tell them to do something.
stand on one leg, please?
They stand like almost like a crane, and I'll just raise one leg.
Which crane? Lucian crane?
I hate you.
I had that thought. I didn't voice it.
I'm so proud of
I'm
you.
self-restraint.
Do it.
Good job.
And that, okay, that is also a factor. Yes.
Now here, let me try something. Stick your hand in your mouth.
They do not move.
Okay, they only listen to you because of it's your blood. Ronan, can you?
Well, you tell them
Ronan,
stand on the other leg. Yes.
the servant has become the master.
If you would please, stand normally, like you would normally do, like normal people.
They put their leg down.
Oh dear. Hey, Dreadlord,
Yes.
where are we at on the Doomsday Clock for Lucian?
So the gala ends like it ends today technically, and it's like the next morning if I remember correctly. So about 4 or 5 hours they said they were going to kill him.
Okay.
Maybe a little bit less.
So
Right.
two
So
of
we
you,
just
go ahead.
need to make sure that this army is constantly protecting Lucian. Aye.
Yes, and the two of you can ensure that. You
Yeah.
are, I guess, the commanders of this army of servants.
Aye, Ronan. You're up to the task, Ronan. You're doing alright there.
It's good, Ronan. Why? What's with this? What are you doing? What's this?
I would like everyone to make an intelligence roll.
Oh dear.
But the only way something will happen is if it is a critical success.
Gonna jump right out of the gate by using one of my rerolls to reroll that 100 I got.
It's a auto crit. We're not in the mid-ground, aren't we? Or you're using a re-roll from the token thing.
Gonna burn it.
I'm just using a crit.
Burn it.
You using a crit?
Yeah.
I'm gonna use a reroll, and I did not get a crit success, but
So Mari, you do know that, because this is gonna be fucking hilarious. You do know that the servants can appear in different forms.
Right. So, dear servants, could you possibly make yourselves look like Lucian?
All of their faces shift to
That's
mimic Lucian's
terrifying
faces.
and helpful. Thank you.
that's good. That's very good.
I'm not entirely sure how a magic person like the Arcane Empress would be fooled by that, but might still be helpful.
Something we didn't know before.
And they also do, like, when they change their shape, like, their bodies shift almost to mimic his clothing. So you can assume that the servants aren't technically really wearing clothes. The clothing is just a part of them. Yeah.
How does Lucian look like he's doing with all this?
But
Okay.
then he looks like his eyes are kind of sunken, like he didn't sleep very much. He's managing, but he probably got like maybe 4 hours of sleep. Maybe.
Tough. It's tough.
Finish that battery, aye. Well, we can. How many servants do we have at our disposal again?
30.
Is it 30? Yeah.
Fuck.
Should we leave them here until we need them?
No, they're coming with
Is
us. They're
the-
populating the house.
Okay.
Are they?
Is the plan
capable
then
of
to have them run as distractions while we work on Spectre?
Spectre wrecking.
This ghost. Spectre wrecking. That was it.
Yes.
Spectre wrecking this big ghost. That's the plan.
Possibly, but if things
More or
get
less.
violent, I would rather have the servants on the front line than any of us.
Thank
Oh,
you to
me
Cord
too.
for the Bane for me to use and crits for all the players.
What's up with that?
Are they at all?
This plan seems a little shaky.
What were you saying, Quinn?
Are they at all capable of invisibility?
You're the boss. Ask, try.
I'm asking them.
Three of them disappear.
Oh, good to know. You three, invisible ones, become visible again, and come with me.
Where you?
And they follow.
Excellent.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Where's she going?
Ronan, I don't know if any of us should go anywhere by ourselves.
Oh, I'm not leaving. I just had them come over to me.
Oh.
That was unclear.
What's your
Jessica
plan with them?
still looks at Ronan suspiciously.
I mean, they would be useful, and it's helpful to keep them apart. Probably. Right?
Sure. Lucian, could you do anything to make yourself invisible and have these people take your place?
No, I can't do any of that.
Yeah, I
I'm
guess
just a
Hyder
man,
is.
not a mannequin.
You're more than a man. You're very intelligent.
Thanks, Hieronymus.
But I liked your pun.
Yeah, me too.
Pretty good one.
Perhaps we want to make sure that the coming confrontation is in the most public venue possible.
Somewhere with a little bit of space as well to maneuver.
Agreed.
Because we don't want to be penned in anywhere.
Yeah, so perhaps we should head to the courtyard, since we were not given an exact time, just more of a window, like somewhere between this time and this time we'll show up and kill you.
Aye.
So, if we have all these different Lucians, isn't the big, bad, evil ghost thing going to know that something's up and then attack early, or maybe just not come out at all?
I mean, if they don't come out at all, that would be quite preferable, because we're only paid to protect his life until the gala is over. After that, it's not a problem. No offense.
This is correct.
Also, well, I figure with people like that, they want to make a big entrance and be true to their word. If I tell you, I'll kill you. I'll kill you exactly at the right time that I told you I'd kill you. I don't think that's a problem, to be honest. Also, of course, they know something's up. They told us something's up.
Yes, I agree with Mari. If visible security stops an attack from happening, then security did its job. I very much doubt that'll be the case with them.
But perhaps...
In that case, the invisible ones could be helpful, because they could be a ace in the hole, if you will.
But perhaps the element of surprise would be beneficial. We keep them looking as servants until we need the distraction. And then,
we also have allies that are not...
confusion.
We also have allies that are not immediately obvious, such as the Admiral.
That's true.
Lucian...
Just a thought here.
Yep.
Once we do protect Lucian, we Spectre wreck this Ghost Emperor. If we have this army, I mean, is taking down the aristocracy still on the table? Because I mean,
I hope so.
We'd have the army. Why not, right?
Let's live through the confrontation with the immortal spirit emperor thing, and then we can talk about, upending the social hierarchy.
Yes, we cut the head off the snake.
I would caution you against burning down this particular house, considering the house is a person of sorts who also knows now that we have been considering burning her down, which I'm assuming she would not appreciate.
That's off the table, because she's great.
Also, she's helping us,
yeah, she's very helpful. I just meant, the other ones, like the...
Oh yeah, we can fuck the Arcane Empress over. That's fine by me. She's weird.
Yes, I agree. But as Lorenzo said, one revolution at a time.
Fair enough. I'm not sure anything at all about this whole Emperor situation. It's just purely for the sake of the peasants.
Yes, of course, for the greater good.
Dear servants, can you behave like Lucian? All cowardice and stuff.
No. They all do it in a row, the same way he did when they reacted to him.
We got you.
That's... Yeah, we're getting there. We're getting there. Just try and mimic the man, right? We'll head up. We'll spread out. And just be as Lucian as you can without actually inventing world-changing technology.
And they also making small talk with each other in the way that Lucian was doing during the party.
That's pretty good.
Why don't invent world-changing technology, but what if we did have them make some of these batteries?
One revolution at a time.
Lucians, they'd make it really fast. Well, I'm just saying, then nobody would want to kill Lucian because batteries would be available.
I'm not doing that.
I don't think that's how it works. Also, I'm pretty sure the world-changing part is a big part of why he hasn't gone into mass production.
Yes.
Right.
Am I correct
I'm just
assumption?
I'm just spitballing here.
Yes, no
They
bad
might be able to
ideas.
mimic me from what they've seen, but they don't know what's in my head. And I'm not telling them.
No.
Perhaps
Right.
if we had the three invisible ones invisible and surround the real Lucian so we don't draw attention to the real Lucian.
That's a very good idea. Aye. Smart one.
Yeah.
Aye.
I like that.
Because if we're all around the real Lucian, then it's not really, effective.
So you probably should stay with Lucian as a servant, after all.
So
You know
it
him?
would be odd if one of
Oh.
us was not visibly with Lucian.
Yeah. Oh, you should stay with a decoy, Lucian, because you're his servant, so people would assume for him to be with you, right? And someone who's actually got fighting skills and rage. Oh, that's me. Hello, I have rage.
Oh.
I'm keeping an eye on the real Lucian, so I can
Oh,
shoot
Mari,
things
don't
around
forget
him.
about your ability to climb walls.
I forgot about that ability. Thank
Yeah,
you very much
yeah.
for reminding me.
You're welcome.
I'm gonna climb a wall and shoot from there.
That sounds good.
Might not.
Get up on the statue. Shoot from the statue.
I'll
I'm not.
figure it out.
I'm not a military strategist.
I can see that.
Thank you.
You have many qualities, though. Don't you worry.
Oh, thank you. I do have some qualities. Can we recap here? Just so we're all on the same page. Ronan and the three invisible Lucians will stay near Lucian at all times. The rest of us will lead our Lucian army forward for negotiations. Are we going there? Well, it's in a few hours, yes?
All right.
That's when we expect them to attack.
Lucian, I'd prefer to keep the real one close, just so, in case the Arcane Emperor can see through our ruse, we have not so separated our party that we will not be able to support Mari and Ronan.
Yes, it's good. We won't stray far, but what will we do until then?
Soup.
Soup sounds good.
Soup and booze. Yeah.
Lucian,
go
you
easy
look
on the
like you
booze.
could use a nap.
Yeah,
Yes,
that
Lorenzo, get some.
might be a good
sorry.
idea.
Yes, Lucian.
And then he just kind of lays down on the floor.
Oh,
Perhaps, in, like, a bed?
yes, we have a bedroom. Oh,
Smart. And kind of like,
You can even use my my lion pelt blanket for it if you want.
oh, that'd be nice.
to the
That'd be
force.
nice.
It's very fierce.
Shall we all go to the room?
And
He looks
prepare.
at all of the Lucian duplicates.
Don't think they all fit.
They all yawn a little bit. Like, they like kind of like.
They all look so tired.
Can one of you respond? How far is that communication open? How, like, if we're going up to the room and you stay here and I scream from the room, go here, can you hear me? Telepathically.
Telepathically. And then like one of them steps forward. No, we can hear through the house.
Brilliant. And you guys stay here, and when we need you, you run out and run towards us, and it's distraction o'clock.
That's the signal. Distraction o'clock.
All right, Mari, you're in charge.
Yes, Mari's in
Yes,
charge.
I am.
And then like
Mari-
like whenever you had Lucian agree with something, you hear them like
and
Seems like
Mari
we
sort
have
of
consensus.
struts.
Jessica's
Struts off.
still got her thinking cap on, and is still feeling a little bit shaky about this plan. Because all right, just hear me out. One last thought here.
I swear to God, Jessica, if you say throw leeches again,
Well, I mean, if the situation warrants for it, but no, that's not what I'm thinking. So, the lady of the house, who is the house, is helping us, and the house has a library, which was referred to as, I believe, the Demon's Library, and it changes mass and shape. And we found a pig necromancy book in there.
You mean this book? And I'll pull it out.
Yes,
I didn't hear
that book.
anything about a demon library. Did you tell us about that?
it's kind of like pulsing in your hand, Shirk.
Oh, fun.
Good.
Someone else hold this. Going to hold it. Oh,
Just
Right.
we'll grab it. Sure.
Jessica, as you
that
try
should
to
be
pull
a
it out of
Um,
Shirk's hand, it's stuck
yeah.
to Shirk's hand.
Oh, it seems to like you, Shirk. Anyways, my thought. Perhaps the lady of the house has more power in this library if there is literally a demon possessing her. At any rate, it would probably be confusing for the enemy, so it might be a good place to set up the meet. No pun intended.
Raven, you broke me. Yes, I think so. So your hypothesis is that the library may be a place where Mephilia can draw on greater power, and so
Exactly.
all right, we can meet there.
There seems to be some dimensional thing going on. Maybe that would help with the whole trapping.
Having seen the library, is the library big enough to maybe give us room to move around in case things get violent, Dreadlord?
It depends on what the library looks like this morning.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. All right, well, let's take a trip to the library, yeah? Just check it out. We'll see what it looks like. And
yeah, that would be a good idea. It seems to change, so.
Okay. Let's go. And while as we go, I think Shirk hasn't looked at the book closely yet. And since it seems to like him, he wants to look it over and see if there's anything useful to be gleaned, to be gotten from reading this book. And he just likes books.
As you look through it, you feel something tugging on you, and I need you to make a willpower roll for me.
Oh, that's real good.
No, I will ban you.
No, that's a failure.
You hear like a big squeal through your head.
Yes. Oh!
You have opened me. Understand the meat before you, and embrace the ham.
And Shirk, your
Gabe's
nose,
really hamming it up for this voice.
Yes.
it becomes a pig's snout.
I think Shirk is so overcome by this terrifying voice, and wondering to himself what embrace the ham could mean. And so he might not notice right away that his nose has changed.
Yep, that's fair.
So he'll turn around to everyone and say, "Did you hear that?" What? You heard it. You heard the voice.
I don't know why, but I have the urge to hunt and kill you.
You're possessed by the demon library.
No. And I
That would be you, I think.
Does anyone have like a dagger or something with a broader thing that we can use as a mirror? Or does anyone have a mirror?
Lorenzo takes out his parrying dagger and just hands it over.
Yes, thank you. Ah! I'll hand it back.
Shirk,
No.
you hear a voice in your head ask, "Do you want power?"
What kind of power?
Yes or no question.
Shirk is wrestling with this in his head, and he's wondering, with power, what could I do? But, I could finish my dissertation.
Yes, pigs are incredibly smart, Shirk. One of the smartest creatures that exist, Shirk.
I'll make this clear. I do want power, but I don't want to hog it all for myself.
Deal.
And your pig nose goes away.
Oh,
Find us a body, Shirk. A dead
mortal body?
and touch it.
Dead body.
Once you find a body dead, the power of the pig will flow instead. And after this book, which you have read, you'll embrace the boar before you.
Oh, yeah, good. Thank you, Swineomicon.
Thank you. You're out of it.
Bye. Kind of like in that first session where he said goodbye to the servant as he's closing the door. Bye, thank you. Yes, and he closes the book.
You get like a puff of bacon as soon as the book closes.
I'm hungry. Are you guys hungry? Maybe like a loaded potato soup with bacon bits.
Some truffles. You can go look for them.
This is probably one of the only things I prepared for this game, to be honest.
I appreciate and respect your priorities.
Onward to the library. Let me know if you see any corpses.
All right.
Who all is going to the
Corpses?
library? Perhaps one of us should stay with Lucy and Prime.
I'll stay with him.
Jessica once again does the like Fry from Futurama squinty eyes thing at Ronan, but doesn't say anything else. Just she's gonna go to the library.
Did
think
if his
perhaps
servant actually
Perhaps
stays with him,
also one
that's
of us
easy.
who can handle an attack or no offense on should also stay.
There is wisdom in this.
Also, leaving one of us by ourselves with a sleeping Lucian is a good way for us to come back and find two bodies.
Ooh, no, bad.
I pull out my shiv from my boot.
Oh, that's cute.
You used that before.
Once or twice.
This answer does not instill confidence.
Right. Let's just have him rest up. We take 3 or so Lucians with us into the room, and a couple of us stay with him as well. The fighty ones, no offense.
That's fair enough. I'm not really interested in the library.
I mean, either I can't read, so I'll come with you.
You know, last time you were there, you found that pig book, so...
What, this? It's harmless.
Anyway.
Is it, as he says that, harmless, and he turns around and walks away, is there a tiny little tail? Gabe did not pay attention.
No.
Yes.
I think Gabe's rolling.
Okay, good,
for it.
yes.
Yes.
Roll for it.
Jessica's gonna look to Shirk and go, Shirk, look, this is no time to get sloppy. You need to pay attention.
Yes, things might get rough out there. That was a really
Exactly.
bad one, but okay.
I'm gonna go take a look at the library and make sure everything's on the level, so to speak,
I will go as
and
well.
see how many levels there are to it at the moment.
You know, yeah. See if it's shaped today like a battle arena.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
example.
Lots of places to take cover. And okay.
So you get to the library, and it's a visual you haven't seen before. It's almost as if it's a large cylindrical shape that's more like a tower. You see about 5 floors. And the
Is it
bookshelves
open in the center?
do this. Yep.
Are we
That's,
talking a
that's
stairway?
concerning.
Yep, there are stairways that go up to each level.
Okay.
You've got maybe a couple hours, I'd say.
Okay, Jessica, what do you think? What's your what do you think?
Well, I mean, there's plenty of chances for us to get the high ground, so to speak, with the different levels and it being a tower.
Could benefit
Sure.
Mari.
You're in the library, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay, just making sure.
Oh dear. I mean, I could go up to the top floor, and as soon as they come in, I could throw down leeches at them.
No, I appreciate your ingenuity. You know, it's good to diversify though in our fighting techniques. Are there any
That's
other things you could do? I mean, look at me. I'm one to talk. I just throw dirt in people's faces.
Oh, let's see what else I've got here. I've got Black Lotus, Holy Symbol. I'm not sure what that'll do. Some Royal Water. I could throw smelling salts in their face. I don't know that would do anything.
All of my means of doing damage to people are up close, and he pulls out this stiletto that he has, and he has a little bit of wire that you see as like a garrote wire that he's got with like two little wooden pegs at the end. And I've got a dagger, and my fists. That doesn't do me any good from far away.
Yeah. I mean, all I've got is this little dagger because usually I use a baton, but that went. Logan kind of flung that somewhere. I never could find it. So,
well,
I guess I could throw books down at them if we need.
Yes. Well, it's yet to be determined if the library will do us any good at all, if it can benefit the lady Ophelia or not.
True.
Perhaps we should find a way to ask her. I suppose she's always listening.
Yeah, Lady Ophelia, hello?
I'm going to find a book with some blank pages in it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just going to turn it open to one of those blank pages, and I'm going to say, I'm not sure if this is how this works, my lady, but this library with the different demonic energies in it, is this a good place for you to speak with us, or not? You could write here if that's easier for you.
Shark, you hear in your
Oh,
head,
that's a good idea.
no, this is my home.
Oh, do I recognize this voice?
Yes, this is the demon pig.
Oh, Oh, all right. What do I call you?
Chris.
I was about to say, if you name this thing Wilbur, so help me.
Yeah. Chris.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, lovely. Don't expect you would like any sort of battle fought within your walls today.
Oh, that would be lovely. More meat for the grill.
Yes, delicious. But, of course, we're talking about big bad emperor demons and, things like that. I mean, if we had it in here and we could promise you violence, I'm not sure. Would you come to our aid?
Check. The reason I want you to get me bodies is because then they will help you.
Oh. Okay.
And if you do it in here, I can make them bigger. I'll just need more.
Good to know. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Hello. I mean, goodbye.
No. Seemed confused. And I relay all that to Jessica as plainly and openly. So, there's a pig demon in my head. And it seems that this library is this demon's domain. Their name is Chris.
Chris,
and
the pig demon.
Yes. And so Chris says that if the battle it takes place in here, it could use necromantic magic. Oh, Gabe. Could use necromantic magic to bolster our numbers. Does that sound like something we want to pursue?
I mean, that sounds good, but that means we have to have bodies first. So how do we get the bodies without them being
Violence.
ours?
No, I'm expecting that there will be a great deal of bloodshed. Perhaps it will be my body.
That's also bad.
It is, but sometimes you have to die for a cause that you believe in.
I suppose it does take, some meat to make a meal. Is that how the saying goes?
That's
Something about
it.
omelets. I can't remember. But
Yes.
I'd much rather it not be any of us, especially since you haven't gotten paid yet.
That's true.
And
But
even if
you
you
know,
had, you can't spend your money if you're dead.
also true. But what if it's for the greater good? That helps bring balance to society. That those who are looked down upon and perhaps kicked out of university or bullied out for being an ogre could go to university instead and finish their studies.
That sounds like maybe you've
Hypothetically.
got some maybe you've got some personal history there.
I just pulled that.
you
I
have
just
to work
pulled that
out,
out of
but-
thin air.
Sure.
Also, the metaphor that you're looking for with the omelets, that's eggs. We're talking about ham. Ham and eggs.
Right. Sometimes you have to dice up some ham to make a ham omelet. I think that's what I was
Delicious.
going for there.
Feels like our
but-
conversation is going around in circles.
I think it is. So, getting back more to the point, what body do we get or make that isn't ours that will help us set off this chain of events?
Well, our friend Chris, the pig demon, seems to think that any sort of combat here will result in bodies.
Okay.
Other than that, I'm not
What if
sure.
we
I don't
invite-
think the house has a morgue.
Oh, I've got it. Why don't we invite some of the lesser nobles? Some of the ones who are just really snobby. Maybe they dress in red. I don't know. Red tunics or something. Get them into this room, and then we have the Lucian servants murder them, and then they become the bodies.
That sentence went to places. I didn't know. Oh, I did not know you were so vicious. I have no great love for the noble class, but perhaps it should be somebody that deserves it, without a
Well,
doubt.
that's what I mean. Like the ones that are bad to their subjects or that have been trying to kill us. That would be easier for us to kill than say Logan.
Jessica, what's cutting into you?
It's been a hell of a few days.
Oh yeah.
So I will ask, what do you two have anything else you want to do before I switch to the others?
Just make pig puns, basically.
Okay.
Jessica's just trying to
But not
figure
other
out
than
how
that.
they can get bodies that are not theirs. At this point, Jessica's like, it's us for them.
And overthrow the
I'd rather be
proletariat.
them.
Was there anything else
Yeah.
you two were doing in the library, or were you going to make your way back to the party after the library?
I think we can make our way back.
Okay, so
What do you
as
think,
you,
Jessica?
you'll be making your way back. You three, what is happening while those two are going? And thank you to Colin for the subs, because that means I get to do weird shit. Like, talk, do your things.
I think Lorenzo is pacing. Hand on the sword. The sword's still tied into his scabbard currently, but it's got like a quick release, so if he needs it, he can get at it. And he's just kind of like pacing back and forth in that, like, we got like an hour left, so he's like kind of wired and ready to go.
Mari has the bow out because it's her favorite weapon, but whip ready as well, and is in a corner of a room where she can feel like she can see the whole thing in case someone suddenly magics in. Take them down. But she's a fairly quiet and still and calm presence, because hunting is what you have to be. For fuck's sake, Lorenzo, can you just stand still for like 5 minutes?
It's the worst part. I just want to get to the fight.
I
The
can
fight,
see
I'm
that.
fine. It's beforehand. Beforehand, it is just all nerves. But once the fight starts, it's like the Admiral. I'd prefer just the fight to just happen. I don't have to
That was
think
good.
about it. Yeah.
That was
it's always
really
better.
impressive, actually.
Yeah.
Okay, with that fancy footwork and stuff, it's not really my school of fighting, but...
He hit really fucking hard. I don't know how I did that.
Oh, he was hitting on you really fucking hard as well.
That's and just kind of like stammers for a little bit. It's like we got a job to do.
Hey, I'm not trying to distract. But it was cute.
Don't you have like a literal booty call after this?
I've got like 3.
That's true. You've been racking them up.
I don't know. It's my rustic charms, apparently.
It's gonna turn over like Ronan. How are you doing?
Is Lucian asleep? Cool. Ronan is deep in thought. And you kind of startled them out of it. What was the question? What?
No, I think you answered the question. Are you all right? Do you want the drink? Do you want? I know I'm not exactly a perfect example of this, but you need to relax a little bit before.
You might understand, Lorenzo, from our earlier conversation. I have since been put in sort of a difficult position.
Oh,
Is
we
this about
understand
Spawn?
fighting is not something you're used to. You can hide behind us. We'll defend you.
What if there didn't have to be a fight?
Is this about pawns?
And I
Hey,
just
what?
look at you.
Ronan, do you play chess?
Not often, but when I do, I usually do a little bit better than I'm doing today.
You know then that a pawn can become more powerful, yes? You can move a pawn
Yes.
across the board.
Yes.
But you know the one thing a pawn cannot become? A pawn cannot become a king. Not while you're playing by the rules. Today, we're going to flip the damn table over.
What if there didn't have to be a fight?
I think the people we're going to fight are worth fighting.
Excuse me if I butt in there, but this is going into a very strange direction. You've officially lost me. What is happening?
There might be an alternate way to It's not ideal, but there is another option. It's not ideal for anyone, really.
Right, we've got like an hour and 40 minutes before this happens. Do you think you'll be able to say it by then?
There's a weird tone, like a tint to outside. There's a red light that seems to shine into the room. And as assumedly everyone goes to the window, you look up, and it's almost as if a blood red moon has taken a place in front of the sun. And you're looking outside, and there's like a red filter over the world.
That's a great sign. That's just great. It's really good.
And outside the window, you can see Logan standing next to the Empress. They're seemingly having a conversation. And there's about 40, 30 maybe wraiths looming around up and down. Kind of like a small legion.
Is this something we should stick our army onto?
He turns back to Ronan and see. Don't be afraid of the fight that's worth fighting.
Yeah, but also
he's
what's
like-
the other option? Because I feel like we should consider both.
There is a wraith at the window that you were standing at, Lorenzo, and it just.
I turn around. We're having a
back
conversation. It is not yet time. You go back where you came from.
I want Lorenzo to just like he like flinches at first and then he just kind of smiles and blows it a kiss and is like.
And there is
We'll
one
get
more
to you in a
figure that
minute.
you see a figure holding the Damascus steel dagger very clearly, but the form is almost more. It's as if the mist itself, as if you were looking at it through a glass container. It is contained to a physical shape. There's still long flowing hair and all of this is of mist. All long flowing hair, a slender frame, the dagger, and two glowing green eyes that solely are looking up into your window, not paying attention to anything else. Far down in the distance with the rest of them, but staring. And at this moment, the other two walk back into the room.
So, anyways,
Sure.
all I'm saying is that if we had to kill somebody, that seems like that would be the better. Oh, hey, we're in the room.
Jessica,
I agree, but maybe some will. Sorry, we're just talking about corpses.
Both
If
you
you
do
want-
notice that there's like a
Logan's right
red.
down there.
The world is essentially red now. There's like a red tint over the world and inside of the room shining in.
You know, at this point, nothing really phases me, but you all see this, right?
Yeah. Look out the window.
Oh, yeah. It's red.
Oh,
No, I mean like at
goody.
the army of wraiths.
Oh, there's the wraiths.
Wraiths.
You see about
But
30,
if you
40
want
of
to make a
them.
corpse, there's Logan.
I mean,
What?
wraiths
Turn-
are kind of like corpses, right? Could Chris work with those?
No, I think I need something physical.
Turn
Chris is
to-
the demon pig that runs the library.
Oh,
Right.
you know, like 3 days ago, I would have needed more of an explanation for that, but now I feel like we're just gonna let it roll.
Exactly. We're on the same page.
If
this one,
only,
yeah.
if only we had some sort of army to counter an army of wraiths. Turn to Rogan and Mari.
Aha!
I know. I'm
If
just
you
trying
all
to
would.
figure out. Fine.
I believe
Dear,
they're playing our number in the courtyard.
dear servant Lucians, please attack the wraiths and kill them. Thanks.
Did they say anything?
They raise their hands. Small knives appear in each of their hands, and they start walking down the steps.
I hope that works.
We should
Quinn,
probably
I
wait.
go-
The invisible ones in
The
that.
3 invisible ones that you requested did not move.
I cross over to Lucian.
He's like slowly
Nice.
coming to and just kind of looking around, and then it's a look of acceptance, deep acceptance in his face.
Yeah, it's real Lucian.
And I put one hand on one side of his face. And I put the other hand on the other side of his face.
Are you going to kiss me?
Are they going to kiss him?
I press my forehead against his.
Looks like it.
Basically, what they're doing at this point.
You stay alive, or so help me, I will come back and haunt you. And I let go. And then I pull off the snowflake pen.
You hear disappointing as it comes off, and then it crumbles. And Shirk was looking outside just a moment ago. So yeah, I'd say Shirk is probably still looking out. You see the Empress slowly turn her head towards the window for a moment. and scoff.
You're muted.
And oh, go ahead.
Justin, you're muted. Nope. Justin? Hello?
Justin, you're muted.
I was saying. Real good. I got some soup on the way back. I'm eating soup. And I pulled Lorenzo and Mari aside to sort of fill them in. This is while Ronan is talking to Lucian. I fill them in on basically, pig necromancy, whatnot.
Should
So
be
I just need some
interesting to see.
corpses. So if you see any corpses,
We will hopefully be providing you with at least Logan's corpse in a little bit.
that's the plan.
Are they going to get married down there, and should we interrupt them? Does marriage make them stronger in any way?
Yes, but there's that one line you need to wait for.
Oh,
Yeah, I guess we already said
yes.
the bot. We already kind of blew that. Let's just get down there.
I
Hi.
look to see who's presiding over this marriage ceremony.
So you're looking out the window, right?
yeah.
You see a wraith take a knife to the side of the head and turn to dust as you see a surge of Lucians start running out there. And a battle is commencing. And
Oh, look at him go.
there is the sound of like a clock tower going off. And you realize that it's time.
We've got to get to the library. That's where my big power is. I'll explain later, Ronan.
Jessica just looks at the rest of them and goes, "Just go with it. It's a thing. It'll make sense later."
Right. Are we going to the library then? Or, they're right out there.
If you would
Actually,
like
they
to try
should come to us.
Yes, that's right.
I open the window and shout outside, "We'll be in the library, guys!"
Congratulations.
Jessica yells out to you, "I'm gonna throw the book at you, all of them."
Haha. Good one.
There's as you're looking, you see the Empress, and there's a small Lucian, not small. There's a Lucian that runs up to her, and when they go to stab, you see the stabbing hit what looks to be a layer of ice, and then she kind of shrieks at him, and his entire body turns to ice, and then she just smashes it and it shatters.
It's good to know.
Just showing off.
That's probably going to happen to me today.
I will take
Okay.
care of you. Like I said, just hide behind us.
Stay
And
positive.
you
You've
pulled the
obviously
invisible one
surrounded
as well.
yourself with talented, capable people.
Plus, we've got Chris Pig to help us out, or Chris P for short.
Yes.
I also just
Crispy
technically
bacon.
betrayed her.
Aye, but it worked out for Jessica.
I'm fine.
Lucian
You
just
know,
kind of gets
physically.
up and grabs his
Not
pack
much,
and
but-
okay.
Library. Right.
Ronan,
right,
I'll
cool.
tell you this. Death comes for us all. And
It's no help, Ben.
no, I'm getting there. And the important thing is to die well and for something that matters. So maybe we won't survive. Maybe some of us will. But the important thing is that we made our mark and we stood up for something.
You all see a wraith slamming into the window.
Ah!
God, I'm so sick of these things.
Can we go
Its
now?
jaw is like half on, half off, and it's not like there's really flesh hanging off because it's more of an ethereal look almost, but still terrible.
I really
And it's
wish there was
slamming
some
its head on the window. As the window cracks a little bit, and then cracks a little bit more, and then cracks a little bit more.
Maybe
I'll
we should
step
go.
between
Let's go.
it and Lucian.
Library. We need
Justin,
to-
you good?
Library. Everyone running. I'll also be telling us one servant that's still alive if he could get the Admiral, please. Thank you.
I think he will be appearing.
Justin, is your mic working? Because you said something, but you were muted again.
I'm gonna pull out my black rose
Mm-hmm.
and crush it to summon the Duchess and say, "We could use some help." Yes, in the
She
library.
literally walks out of the wall. Like a portal of shadow appears as she walks out of the wall. You rang, Hieronymus.
Yes. I point outside. I'm assuming you're aware of what's happening here.
Yes.
We could use some backup. We're going to the library to probably die.
I love that dance. All right, this is your favor.
I also love to dance.
Do not forget, Lucian. I won't forget, Vivian. Good.
What is she talking about, Lucian?
Family matters.
Well, the
We're
promise
going
you made
to-
to her.
Yes, help each other, essentially.
Okay. Help is good. Let's go.
And the Duchess's, you see the dog that was around her shoulder kind of like crawl up her shoulder and then sit on her head and then almost melt over top her body till it's cloaked in shadow. A fanged and nightmarish snout covers her face. And then her entire form kind of like slinks through the thin piece of the window and engulfs the wraith on the outside and then drops. Politics are stupid, Lucian says. Starts to walk.
I agree. Jessica
Ooh,
says
that's
Lucian
20 retweets.
before
That's
following.
exactly what I wanted. Let's see. Keep going. I'm doing my happy things now. Ah, this one's for Ronan. Good.
Quinn, your face.
Give me more so I can.
I think at this point,
More.
Lorenzo and Shirk are doing the security team thing, and we're just like taking Lucy and we're like, let's go, library, let's go, let's go, let's go.
I feel like Jessica's probably like walking towards the library and seeing maybe there's some servants walking around with like a platter with some sort of alcohol on it, just like grabbing
You
one
don't see any
without
servants.
stopping and just, oh darn.
There are none at all. The house seems almost empty.
Sorry, my cat is being super loud today.
Ronan, your hands feel warm. Shockingly so. And like when you put them, like when you're walking around and touching something, there's like a slight steam that comes from whatever you touch. God, I love this chart. Anyways, as you continue to the library, it's empty. You don't see any other servants. It seems like the other residents seem to be doing their own thing. You do pass Leon, like in the distance, who him and his crew seem to have an assortment of arms and armaments. Leon himself holding what seems to be a blunderbuss and smoking a small pipe. Winks as everybody walks by.
It's your boyfriend.
But you make your way to the library with no issues. And the fighting seems to get louder now. You can hear the shrieks of wraiths. You can hear what sounds like machinery being shattered, ice breaking, lightning firing, and then a bellowing bestial roar. You all stand in the library and see a large arm put down around the corner, ghostly and gaunt. And then a face peers around, but you notice that there's a second face up here, a third face on the side. It seems to be an interesting combination. Shirk, you recognize your teacher's face on the front. You all recognize Raymond's face up on the top left. And then there's another face on the top right. And then all eyes seem to lock on you. It's a fair distance away, as there is a large amount of open space in this area. But I'd like everyone to roll initiative at this moment.
Oh, no.
Here we go.
That's
Sorry.
It's a
my brain is
D10,
not
correct?
Yep. D10
Thank
plus
you.
your initiative number.
I was like, I know it's not a D100.
That's an 11 total for me.
10 total here.
An 8.
Ronan?
16.
All right. Then Mari.
11 for me as well.
All right. Wonderful. Okay. So, first will be Ronan. This creature is about 60 feet away, a hulking mass of monstrous flesh and horror. This is a very grim and perilous situation. And you're a little thirsty.
I was about to say, I'm feeling a little thirsty too.
What would you like to do, Ronan?
No sign of the Empress, right?
Not
it's
yet.
just this thing.
So far.
Nope, you can't do that. That's a different character who can do that, Quint.
Oh, Violetta, I see.
No, I don't know who you could possibly be referring to. Never heard that name in my life. Well, this is unfortunate. Because I have no magic and no real weapons to speak of. I'm gonna do a stupid, I'm gonna spend 1 AP to take cover behind a bookcase, the nearest one, and then bank my other 2 AP.
You can also
Yeah.
do the inspiring words litany of hatred. There's some special actions that
Oh, are there?
are in the quick reference guide that are open to everyone.
Ronan wasn't built to fight things. Let's see, intimidating and leadership. We're not good at those.
Mari and
okay, I'll
Lorenzo,
spend.
you go be on deck.
I'll spend. Sorry, I'm taking so long. I'll spend 1 AP to do inspiring words, and I think I just have to say inspiring words, and I think that does something for y'all, right?
Gives us a +1 to damage and peril threshold.
Yes. So I will, before ducking behind a bookshelf, just kind of look over all of you. I just betrayed the Empress for you all. So, let's keep him alive. I don't really care what happens to me anymore, and I just duck. That's not the most inspiring. But that's what Ronan
It's nice of you
had.
to catch up to the rest of us, though.
All right. So let's go, Lorenzo. What would you like to do?
I think after that, I'm going to run forward and can I, if I take a double move, will I be able to reach this very large, creepy creature?
Yeah.
Then I'll spend 2 AP to make it charge, and then 1 AP to attack it.
All right.
And
Do it.
it's the finale, so I'm going to use one of those fine
Oh,
crits to ensure a hit.
disgusting. All
You're
right,
horrible.
fine.
Thank you, Cat.
So you run up to this thing. Are you just charging at it? Or are you stabbing one of the faces in particular?
What was the third face?
It's an unknown face, one that none of you have seen.
I don't like unknown. I'm gonna stab the unknown face.
All right. So you kind of like run up, and then there's a little bit of like a leap upwards to make sure you can hit the face on the upper side of its head, and the mass of the heads is about the size of your. So it's disgusting. Yeah, you take that stab. Go ahead and roll that damage.
All right, I get 2d6 because of the charge, and one of those explodes. So that becomes 19 damage as I speak to my sword and like, I don't know the name of this thing, but enjoy.
Disgusting. And it guides through, like almost like through like the ghastly, just like bridge, and just pierces through. And there's a little bit of resistance at first, but then it does go in like a normal blade, comes out, and there's a gush of like purplish blue liquid. And it does wail out in pain. And is that all of your turn then?
That I only have 1 AP left. That is my lightning reflexes. I have to use it for parry or dodge, so I will hold on to that.
Then Mari, it'll be your turn.
Is there anything that is threatening to come in onto Lucian in this library?
Not right now. It looks like this creature is like just charging ahead, so it's probably going to try to move past Lorenzo.
Right. I'm gonna shoot it as well with the for a few shillings more. Does not
Go for
miss, automatically hits, and cannot be parried. It's 2d6 because I get another fury die. And what's
You
missing?
suck.
I know. But what do I add for damage here? 6 plus. Oop. Wrong window. 15 damage.
All right, for 15, as it's charging forward, and Lorenzo, as you ran up to you, you notice it has like almost like centipede legs. It has like four arms on each side that are like pulling it forward.
Yeah, never mind. I think it's +1 to damage threshold, not to damage, right? The
Correct.
leadership. Yeah, cool. Never mind.
Yeah.
Then it's 15.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's almost got like centipede like arms on like 4 on each side that are running forward, and as it's still kind of like trying to move around, Mario, you pull back and take a shot and just fire it. It hits like right in the shoulder. It lets out another howling wail, and it seems like it turns its attention. And it's got one face looking at you, Lorenzo, one face looking at you, Mari.
I use 1 AP to reload and then bank 1.
All right. Jessica, it is your turn.
Yeah, so I want to make sure I understand the layout correctly. So the different floors of the tower, is it like a silo where like if you're on the top floor you can see all the way down to the bottom, or is it like?
Yeah, so it's more like a silo. You could see down to the bottom.
Okay. I think Jessica's gonna run up to the second floor, third floor, if there's enough action for that, and still be able to do something.
You probably have to double move to get to the third floor. So you have one. You got to the third.
Sorry, my audio broke up there.
You'd have to double move to get to the third floor, but you would still have. So it would just be two AP essentially to get to the third floor.
Okay, and we've got 3 AP to work with, right? Per turn. Okay.
Yep.
Gonna run up to the 3rd floor and throw the heaviest looking book I see at the monstrosity.
Do it.
How do I do that? Is it just is it simple ranged combat?
Yeah, I'll give you that. I'll give you that. It's a finale.
Okay.
We'll just. It works.
Okay. I'm gonna use a reroll. Why is it every time I reroll, it's always like within a few of what I just rolled? I've got 3 crits left.
I'll let you use it if you want to. Feed the machine. Use them now when it's the most dangerous. Ignore these. Ignore these.
Yeah, I'm gonna use 1. I'm gonna use a crit because I really
All
want
right,
this to hit.
It hits. It like
What's the damage on a
the
heavy
creature
book from the 3rd floor?
Probably
mean,
not much.
Everything's a
Go
D6
ahead.
technically in weapons.
Yeah, so roll a d6.
Okay. 6.
Roll it again because 6s explode.
Okay. Do I add the combat bonus?
Just roll it again first.
Okay.
I was about to say that's another fucking 6, I swear. So again, 11 plus your combat bonus.
Which is 5, so 16.
Because it'll just be dropping. Okay, yeah. So this book's fucking hell. This book slams down on one of the faces and kind of like hits one of the eyes, and it just like closes tightly.
And we zoom in on the cover of the book, and it says all about leeches.
Yes.
That checks out.
101 uses for leeches. Leech book attack.
And it comes to the beastie's turn. It's charging up, and its legs are now. It is going to take an attack at you, Lorenzo, as you are next to it, and essentially try to slam its massive hand down onto you. So let's see. For a 20, so that would hit. You
Can I
could
parry?
dodge. Yes.
I would love to. That is a success, but this is not a very large success. So I'm assuming you win that.
So if it's a success, you will pass this. Because it is mainly just trying to step on you. So you just needed a success for it to not slam its hand down on your tiny figure.
Then I would like to use my Vim and Vigor Bravo feature, where when I make a successful parry, I get to make a opportunity attack.
Ooh, you scrub. Do it.
That is a failure.
All right.
I'm gonna say,
swing at it. You can re-roll if you would like.
nah,
Use
it's
them.
all right.
Use them. Okay. So then it's getting closer and closer. And so we have Shirk, Mari, and Lucian, and Ronan down like... Well, Ronan's taking cover. So the other 3 are basically down more in the center area.
Yeah, I'm near
Okay.
Lucian still.
All right. It's going to like sit up, and you see like its stomach expand drastically, and then it like shoots out what look to be nasty globs. And I'm going to use one of my crits to auto hit.
So that's not something I can dodge.
No, not this one. So there it is. For
It was nice knowing you, Mari.
for 19 damage as this snake like almost projectile shoots at you, bites, and then like melts into your skin as you feel like an acidic feeling.
That's my second damage threshold.
So that is Mari, Shirk, and Lucian. And it's about 30 feet away from all of you now.
Right. Do we
That
go up
hits,
to?
that hits all of us.
Yeah. Do we go
And-
down on the damage conditions?
Yes. So if you did break your thresholds, you will go down on damage conditions.
But we only go down one because of the. Oh no, it ups the damage threshold. It's fuck! It still hits the second one.
Yes.
So close.
Feed the machine. Feed the
Moderately
machine.
wounded.
All right, and now it is Shirk's turn. You're muted again,
You're
buddy.
muted.
I can't hear your beautiful voice, Justin.
It's one of those days. I'm seriously wounded, and so I need to roll on that serious wounds table. If someone wants to look it up and give me a look on it.
Do you have that, Mari? Because I thank you. Bless your soul.
26 on serious wounds.
26 on serious wounds. Serious injuries. 26. Oh, you get your fractured larynx back.
What?
Yep.
This burns a hole through my throat.
Well, at least all the accidental muting will be in character now.
I'm rolling as well because I'm.
Oh yeah, wait, you're right. Tom points out a good point, which is I need to roll a d6 first to see if I actually take this injury.
Oh,
Combat
same
rules.
Then, I guess.
Let's
I
try
did
it.
not
Hold
know
on.
that.
Ah, no, I'm not injured. That's a 5. It's only on a
Of course.
6 that you get that injury, right? Aha!
Okay,
Ah.
that's good. I'm fine as well.
But I'm badly injured. I'm fine. I'm just seriously injured.
So now it's your turn, Shirk.
Great. Taking that, not fun. Shirk is going to step forward, and all of you see that he's put his fake teeth back in. His tusks. Except now they kind of look more like boar tusks. And seeing Lorenzo and Mari in danger, he's going to move up on this thing with a charge recklessly. And so, you get away from my friends! And I'm going to charge forward and do a punchy punch with my fist. I'm just going to try to punch it in one of the faces if I can.
Okay. Are you are you rolling?
I'm going to use
What
my
is-
crit. I'm going to use one of these blue crits of you.
That's fair.
And just land it. So I'm going to roll a d6. That was a charge, so it's 2d6. And for me, that's plus my brawn bonus. So let me type that in. Almost a 6. 7 plus my brawn bonus is a 12 total for that punch. As I punch this thing in the face.
You're very fortunate, Shirk. The power of the library, as you run forward to swing, your hand almost transforms into a hoof. And
Yeah.
you bring your hoof into the face of this creature
That's right. Reading is fundamental.
and kind of shatter one of the faces. And you see it crack in and fall. It didn't have a whole bunch of health, but it dealt out a bunch of damage. Now, the beautiful aspect of this, and I could not have written this better, I'm very glad that Shirk went last. And I'm very glad that Shirk decided to touch it physically. Because all of you hear a wild squeal as the body of this thing shifts and cracks. And about the size of a large car. A skeletal structure of a pig crawls out. We are currently out of initiative.
I didn't mean to do that.
I'm so glad you did.
I
What?
kind of think you did.
What
It
did you
doesn't-
do?
I think it's the book. I think I have pig necromancy power here.
Is it attacking us or is it listening to you?
Hello. No, we're
That
good.
doesn't clarify it.
That's friendly. You want to help us kill the Empress?
And it like shakes its bones.
You're gonna get so many table scraps. All right, I think it's on our side.
It starts eating the nasty thing, and like as it like goes down like into its mouth, it like almost gets consumed by a void that like follows down its larynx into the stomach.
Hooray!
I think you have to name it. It's your pet now.
Oh, Wilbur.
Hello, Wilbur.
It like looks up, and there's almost like a twinkle in its eyes. Kind of like kicks its leg.
Mm.
Some pig, and goes back to eating.
That's some pig.
So you have, there's. It seems like the conflict starts to quiet down a little bit. Is there
So we
anything
have to
any of
meet
you are
with-
doing very quickly? You
There's
have a
no
moment
way-
of pride.
Did Lucian get hit by that?
No.
Okay.
Oh well, actually,
The
no. Yeah,
acid
he did.
thing.
He did. He
Yeah.
did. No, he did. He
Is
he
he-
looks okay though. He hasn't really been hurt otherwise.
Okay.
Right. Is there
But
any
he's
way
ignored.
to heal up? Because we don't have heal powers.
I'm
as such.
very badly
Heal
hurt.
skills.
Not really.
Jessica's gonna kind of yell out, be like, "Hey, Chris, do you have any fuzzy snakes or anything that we could use?"
Shirk, you hear in your head, if you seek healing, then we will have to make a deal.
Oh, it wants a bargain.
I've already given a lot of blood today.
Yes,
want a
it's not
finger.
worth it for me. I'd rather go down swinging than enter into servitude.
I want a finger.
Any finger?
Annie's finger and anyone's finger. Anyone that
And we're the
is-
only ones in here, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Anyone want to
And
chop
you
off their
see-
finger?
You see Wilbur kind of sit and open his mouth.
Oh, hungry boy. Who's hungry? Hungry baby.
And that'll heal. Be more specific about the terms of the deal, Shark.
Yes,
How exactly
will
does
it,
work?
will the healing, it won't regenerate our finger, will it? I mean,
No,
Without that
but
finger.
I will heal one person. For each finger.
it's
you
only for
give
one
me.
person. Okay.
What
Seems
about
we'd be
the
trading health for health.
Yes.
What about the? I mean, not to be morbid, but what about the servants that we have? They have fingers.
They're
Do the
not
servants
gonna work.
count? Chris?
The servants are not alive.
Oh, they're not living.
I'll do it.
You will.
Are you sure? Pinky promise.
You walk up, Ronan, and put your pinky there in front of Wilbur,
Mm-hmm.
who clamps very quickly, and it's painless.
Okay, cool.
It almost feels as if it was never actually there.
Hmm.
Who is in need of my grace, then, Shirk?
It's for me to decide.
You are the
Remembering
one.
it's Shirk, Lorenzo, and Mari who got that nasty mess up, yeah?
No,
Yep.
Lawrence is fine.
No?
I think.
Just me and
It
you.
was Shirk, Lucian, and Mari, but Lucian hasn't been
Oh.
really hurt yet
Hasn't been hurt. Okay.
until that point. Yep.
You are the
Oh,
most
yes.
seriously wounded, so you should take it. I'm only a
Yes.
moderate.
I turn to the pig and I say, it should go to Mari.
No, 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 you're being an
Yeah,
idiot.
I get to choose.
Stop.
I get to choose when I'm talking to the big demon in my head.
Mari, you go up 2 steps on the damage tracker.
I will mutter a lot of illegible curses and
As you get a whiff of bacon and then feel replenished.
nice. And we'll use one of my crits to heal Shark.
Okay.
Because I'm hoping that at least takes him up 1.
I'll give you 1.
Thank
yeah.
you.
I'm not sure how it works.
Can someone
but yeah.
look outside and see where the Empress is? If she's coming in or if we have to go up to her.
I would love to take a look.
Ronan, you hear a song that you heard from your dream. All of you hear a voice singing as it's coming down the hallway. But Ronan, you did hear this slightly in the back of your head in your dream when the Empress was speaking to you.
Mm-hmm.
Far down the hallway, you see the Empress turn the corner. Next to her is the almost porcelain figure with shadow inside, holding the Damascus dagger. And the Empress looks almost as if she's wearing an armored robe made of ice. Luminescent white ice. And because it's fun, she is holding her father's hand. And she changes her tune. And they're just slowly walking in the direction of the library.
Just out of curiosity's sake, do my hands still feel, strangely warm and punchy?
I didn't say that last part, but yes.
I said one of them.
So,
So
we're not in initiative yet because no hostile action has been made yet.
They're coming towards us, though.
Yes.
Or yeah.
And if they're coming here, one can assume Logan Pilk is coming from somewhere else.
Oh, Logan. No. I am the poor widow.
Wait,
oh no,
what?
not Logan. Anybody but that guy.
Poor Logan.
What a shame
He
to be a
was-
widow, inheriting such a delightful fortune.
Upper class folk are really fucked.
You're a cunt.
Yeah.
Chad. Yes, it's part of my charm.
No,
told.
it's really not.
But then they don't always wake up. And her eyes kind of glaze over for a second and then come back. As if like they froze over for a moment. Sorry.
Right, are we doing this then? I'm doing it, and I'm shooting at the Empress.
Yeah, I'm in charge.
Okay.
I'm gonna use a stunning blow. Or I'm gonna try a stunning blow, which doesn't do damage, but lowers her AP.
All right, so everyone will get a surprise round in this circumstance. Lorenzo is charging forward because that is what Lorenzo does. Mari is doing her stunning blow strike. Jessica, you are up on this. You can just barely see them coming up. And you have your advantage point.
I have a question.
What?
So, I already know that Ronan has betrayed the Empress, and so pretty sure Rodent's going to be, attacking. What I'd like to do is sort of coordinate the attack. So as soon as I see the Empress approaching and Ronan getting ready to run up and punch, assuming that's what Ronan does, as soon as I see Ronan move, essentially, leech attack to distract the Empress.
Got it.
Before I probably charge the Empress, I would like to shoulder check Lucian as far as I can into the library.
Make a
Out of
brawn roll.
danger.
You can
Okay.
do athletics if you would like, specifically.
Okay. I'm gonna feed you and use a reroll token.
Yes. Yes. Gross.
That's a success.
Yes, that works. He
and kind of like rolls in there, and you see he doesn't hurt himself, but you shoulder check him like a decent bit in there.
Now you stay out of this and you stay safe. Got it?
He's kind of like
Good.
rubbing his eyes.
I won't slam the door to the library because Jessica's still in there, but
Yes. And then, so Ronan is going to charge. So Shirk, what are you doing during the surprise? And then I'll go through each person.
Shirk, seeing and knowing, like, especially what Lorenzo's going to do, but guessing that the others are going to move in and attack, Shirk is going to use Litany of Hatred. So Shirk's going to sort of step out into the hallway and use, it's basically an intimidate check that I can use to affect her damage and peril thresholds and reduce them by 1. And actually, it would be also her father, too, if that counts.
All right. Yes, that actually
Cool.
will.
All right. Cool.
So okay. So we'll go Lorenzo. You are charging up to attack. All
wait,
right.
can I say my intimidation thing, or does that have to wait? Can I do it now?
No.
I want to do it now.
That's fine. You know what? If you want to do that beforehand, yeah, because this
I
is
do.
all technically simultaneously.
Yeah.
As
The
they're
stunning
charging
blow
forward.
goes wide, by the way, so that's not a factor.
Okay.
I
So
would
if you
step
fire
out.
the shot-
I would just step out really quick as they're charging,
Mhm.
and say, "This isn't even the worst wedding I've ever been to." I say, "I got you a bread maker," and yeah, that's. So now I do an intimidation check. I'll just use that crit up there.
Oh,
For it.
disgusting.
Yeah.
As you're doing that, I'll take care of this outside of your roles. The Wilbur like bellowing roars, and it's almost as if your voice is amplified while you're yelling that.
Good boy.
And there's kind of like a hesitation a little bit, which is uncharacteristic. Mara, you fire your shot, but just as it's getting close, it freezes, and then she grabs it and shatters it.
Cool, but rude.
Lorenzo is charging up. Jessica is helping Ronan, so Lorenzo and Ronan are charging up, correct?
Yep.
Okay, so as they're charging up, Jessica, it's almost as if like you're just tossing things around and like kind of like they're looking at the two charging, but then also very confused why multiple books are just falling down seemingly out of nowhere. And it is a little bit distracting, which may work in their favor. So Lorenzo and Ronan. Ronan, Lorenzo, make your strike.
Crit.
Oh, dick. Who are you striking?
I'm striking. I'm assuming Ronan's going for the Arcane Empress. Yeah, that is good and proper. I'm going to go for the Arcane Emperor.
All right, go for it.
All right, I'm going to roll my. All right, I rolled 2 5s.
Nice.
If this is okay with everybody, I would like to use 2 fortune points to treat those as 6s. And roll another 2 dice. So that
Wait,
becomes
are that the tokens
13.
or a point?
Yeah, the
the
tokens.
point of
You
this-
can use them to change any damage roll to a 6.
I didn't know that.
I did it against the Admiral, and it was
Yes.
really good. So that's 12, 17, 18 damage to her, or to him.
Isn't
You
it +1 because
stabbed
of the
through.
inspiring words?
So it lowers his by 1, I think.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
threshold itself, not the damage, but the
My
threshold.
litany of hatred lowers his.
Yeah.
But I think Raven was talking about the inspiring words that came earlier
From Ronan.
Yep.
Earlier.
from Ronan.
That
Yep.
ups ours, yes.
Yep.
When we get hit.
So it stabs through, and it like as you hit more like the shoulder, there is resistance as if you're like stabbing into a wall. But you follow through and you feel your blade vibrate a little bit to try to like actually go through, and it comes out the other side, and there's a puff of the smoke that kind of just seeps out of the back.
I'm going to whisper mentally to my sword, have you ever tasted Emperor before?
No, but this is delicious.
And then I have
And
my
it's-
one for parrying.
As
Because
it
I'm going
comes
to
out,
need it.
I want a kid's show
There
with
is
that
another
sword as a
guys.
protagonist. Just like the old
And then-
terrifying Nickelodeon shows, right?
yes. And then Ronan, you run up. What would you like to do?
I would like to punch the Arcane Empress in the face.
All right,
I had
make
a-
that attack.
I
A
have a
quick
crit.
question on the leeches. Did I need to make a roll for that?
For the leeches?
Yeah. To toss them at the Empress's face?
You'll have to be a lot closer because you're so high up.
Okay.
It's like they haven't fully necessarily walked in yet. They're walking and coming down the corridor. These two ran to get to them before they came into the library.
Oh, okay. I misunderstood the layout.
Yeah, because
Okay,
the
then yeah,
library's like a
I'm-
cylinder, and they're like here coming into the library. So Ronan hit checked Lucian, so they didn't get all the way into the library yet. Shut up.
Oh, okay,
Shut
okay,
up,
okay.
Justin.
I get it now. Okay.
No, that's
then,
just
yeah,
that
Justin's
is
just holding the
really
leeches, waiting for them to come in.
pretty much, yeah.
That's fine. So make your attack, Ronan.
I would like to use a crit.
Oh, stupid. Okay. roll your d6. Ah. I'm talking to you, chat. You did this to me.
What do you add?
I will
You have
punish
3
you.
of them.
I know. And that would be your combat bonus.
Okay, so
If
that's,
you're
that's
punching,
only-
it would be your brawn bonus. It would be your BE.
Oh, would be Braun?
Yeah, for punches.
Oh, it's the same.
know better
So
than I
that's
do.
only 9. That's only 9.
Okay,
damage.
9. So you do come in for a hook, and at first he's looking at you like you're an idiot, but there is the heat to your hand. So instead of the closed fist, you actually open it, and the little bit of ice that was covering the side of her face, you heat through it and then slap her across the face. And there's a look of appalled and angry in her eyes. You insolent, and then we're gonna roll initiative. Oh yeah, she's pissed. Good lord, that's so many things. Okay, so let's start off. Ronan, what did you roll?
16 again.
All right, Lorenzo.
9.
All right, Mari.
Sorry. I have been lost in the many BMX windows I have open. Because I put them somewhere on the 2 monitors and now I can't find them.
Proud of you.
There we go. Initiatives again, you said, right?
Yes.
1, 2, 10. I panicked. That's a 17.
That's a good panic. Jessica.
I got a, where'd it go? 12.
All right. Then And then Shirk.
9.
9. Okay. So first will be the Emperor and his daughter with an 18. So the Emperor is going to look at you, Lorenzo. And like covers his arm, covers the hole with one arm, and then takes the Damascus steel dagger and attempts to stab you across, like in the chest with it. I almost said across the chest. You can't stab someone across, but you could certainly, sure as hell, try. And I'm going to roll that for a 17 to hit.
Well, I got a AP to parry, so might as well try.
Do it.
That's technically a success. That is my max,
Nice.
but it is no success level. So you definitely hit me.
All right. And you try to move it, but it does hit you in the chest for 8.
That just beats my threshold.
All right. So it just goes in, and it doesn't go extremely deep. You're able to back up before it actually gets too far, but it does pierce. And as it hits your skin, there's a cold pain to it. And then Ronan.
I'm going to say something, but that hurt.
Ronan, the Empress looks at you, and claws appear on her fingers. And she goes to stab you in the chest with them. I'm going to use one of my crits. Because I have them. So that's 6. Sorry. For 20 points of damage.
So, am I looking at my peril or my damage threshold?
Damage threshold.
Okay. So that passes my first, second, and third threshold. So what does that put me at on the tracker?
You go down 3?
I go down 3. I am grievously wounded.
And now you roll a d6.
Okay.
So you do not take an injury.
Okay.
And she looks at you and says, "Stay down." And is going to spend, they're both going to spend movement to get closer. So they are at the entrance to the library, about 30 feet, I'd say, from Lucian. Oh, thank you for the donation, Michael Wayne. To Quinn, so they aren't without a crit.
Oh, hey, thanks. Do I need to roll 3d6 instead of 1, Dreadlord?
Oh, do you? Ha! Oh, yeah, because it's 3. Yes, that's true. My
Okay.
bad.
It's okay.
So roll 2 more.
Whoops. There's a
That
6.
is an injury.
Okay, what do I roll?
And is it 1d100, I think? Think so?
31.
Lydia, would you be able to tell
31.
me what that is on the injury chart?
Yep. 1 second. Which injury chart was it?
Grievously
Grievously?
wounded.
And give me the number again.
31.
31. Detached ear. Until fully recuperated, you cannot hear as you're in pain. You must undergo a successful surgery or suffer the consequences. Once a detached ear has undergone a failed surgery, you suffer the crop ear drawback. If you already have this drawback, you permanently lose 9% perception.
So she stabs you through the chest, says stay down, and on the way up, slices off your ear. Since apparently you can't listen anyways. And then both she and her father proceed to move forward. But ironically, it is Ronan's turn.
I I would like to hit her again, and I'm gonna burn that crit that was so generously given to me to make sure it hits.
That hits. Roll that damage.
Oh, fucking Christ. That's a 7.
7? So 7 is her first threshold. So you are fortunate in that point. She's not wearing very much. So it's another like almost like slap on the side of the neck this time. And there's such a look of confusion and irritation. Almost as if like a mosquito bit her. And it hurt more than it should have. And then she was just mad about it. Is there anything else you would like to do for your turn, Ronan?
I'm gonna bank that other 2 AP. So I'm good.
Yes, they were correct. I should have had Mari. I apologize. Mari.
Since this is a new combat, because I can do that takedown thing, shilling thing once per combat.
Yes,
And
you
we
could
roll
do it here.
initiative again. All right, I'll do that then, and just auto hit. 1d6 plus 6. Actually, 2d6. Boo. 9. I rolled a 1 and a 2.
And who is this to?
Empress.
All right. After getting hit on the neck with Ronan, and they're kind of like looking over their shoulder, an arrow pierces through a bit of the ice on her chest and hits her in the shoulder. And then she freezes it and shatters it. And you can see her hair start to stand on ends. And there's less of a calm and more of a rage now in her face.
We're getting there. We're getting there. Reloading, banking the rest.
Don't make those eyebrows, Justin. I saw that. I'll end you. And so the next would be Mari, Ronan. Next would be Jessica. So you can see them at the entrance. Both the father and daughter.
I'm still waiting for everyone to move into the library per the plan.
Mhm.
So I
You
don't
could
think there's a
probably
whole
hit
lot
them
that
with the
I can do.
leeches if you were throwing them from here. If you would like to.
Yeah. I basically want to throw them onto the Empress's face.
Yeah, you can make a range attack.
Okay. I'm gonna crit that.
All right. You crit and shatter the leeches onto her face after a slap to the back of the neck, an arrow to the shoulder, and then a glass jar of leeches crashes upon her face. Go ahead and roll a d6.
That is gonna be 10 damage.
All right. The leeches, like you can see, actually start to suck on her face. Some of them did break on impact. And very quickly, many of them like seem to shrivel up and die, but you see welts across her face now, even from that far up.
And the levels of this tower, I assume there's some sort of railing. Is it something that I could essentially hide behind, or is it pretty
Yeah, you could take cover behind
pretty
it.
see-through? Okay, I'm going to do that then, and
Okay.
probably grab the next heaviest looking book and get ready for next turn.
Okay. Then, Lorenzo, it is your turn.
I'll also yell out leech attack as I do that. I forgot to mention that part.
I do believe it is time to stab the
It's your brand.
Emperor again. He stayed within my reach, correct?
Yeah, you could. I mean, if you wanted, you could charge again to hit him.
Yeah, let's do it. Charge again. Let us see if I can hit him. No.
Oh, I have a lot of rerolls. Oh, look at all those.
I'm going to
I can
miss.
turn mine to sixes.
That is my turn.
Okay. And then Shirk, it is your turn.
Yeah, Shirk is gonna turn to Wilbur and say, "The Empress, come on, let's go. Come on, Wilbur, come on." And then I'm gonna sort of run forward, and I'm gonna pull out my stiletto.
Okay.
And I'm gonna try and stab the Empress with that.
Okay,
That's
go for it.
D Honda. Let's see. It's a 39, which is close, so I have to look. That is a success because of that one rank in simple melee, which is nice. And so with my stiletto, yeah, she gets a -10 to dodge or parry if she wants to do that, but I
She
will
is
just...
absolutely going to try.
Okay, so yeah, she gets -10.
That is a failure. I'm going to use my rerolls
Sweet. No, that's...
for a 17 to succeed.
All right, so
And-
she knocks it aside.
I actually rolled for Wilbur that would have been a success, so she's going to try to parry that as well. So essentially there's almost like a wall of ice that pops up and then splits apart both of your attacks to the side.
Ugh. And then I'm going to bank my other points. I'm just going to save it.
Okay. Okay. So that is the end of the round for there. So we come back to the top, and the Empress looks you in the eyes, Shirk.
Ugh.
I don't like pigs.
Sorry.
And the claws around her hand become a long, almost like ice spear. And she's going to make an attempt to stab you through the chest.
Stab me?
Yes.
Okay, cool. I'll tell you, I'll be dodging it. Or, sorry, parrying it, I guess.
So that would be a success. So yes, you can make your parry.
Okay. That's a combat check. Right, Tom? $38 is a success by 1. So I use my stiletto to...
Move it out of the way, just barely.
Lorenzo, just like you taught me.
But
Very good.
there's something special about the Empress as things get worse. She is going to spend a second AP and make another strike at you, Shirk.
I have no APs left, so come on. Bring it on.
For a 30, and that will hit.
Oh. Great.
For 7.
That just beats my first damage threshold, but it does mean that I am seriously wounded.
Make that roll, please.
So that's 3d6. See about these wounds. No 6s.
Ooh, lucky
Yeah.
Shirk. She looks back at you, Ronan. Last chance. And then walks past Shirk further into the library. Basically towards the center. And you can see that she is bleeding a little bit, but every spot where she was bleeding, almost like ice is over.
Is
And
that
the fog.
meaning?
What?
Sorry, at some point she would have walked towards me and passed.
Yeah.
Because I have with the bull, although I don't have it equipped just now. Never mind, it's fine. I have the opportunity to adapt the reach thing.
That makes sense.
But
So she's
I
now
was
in
having the roll.
the center, does not seem to see Lucian, who seems to have hidden himself during all of this. And the Emperor takes another strike at Lorenzo. His eyes, previously green, are now a blazing blue. And I'm going to use one of my crits because I still have 2. For 6.
That does not exceed my threshold. Thank you very much. Inspiring words.
Oh! So he makes that stab, and you do parry it just ever so slightly. And it's like as he's walking by, he takes a swing, almost not treating you seriously. But the eyes adjust a little bit as you do deflect it. And now both he and the Empress are standing in the center of the library, looking around. It's your turn, Mari.
I'm going to attempt another stunning blow with the arrow towards the Empress. So it's just my regular attack. That's it. I'm gonna use a reroll. I haven't.
There you
hit
go.
Anything. Yeah. Okay. Oh, although does that pretty high. I needed 62. I rolled a 63. So, nope.
So it whizzes by ever so slightly, but she catches this one almost as it gets close to her face. If you don't stop, you disgusting creature.
I mean, I won't. I can tell you that now.
Worst. Then it will be Ronan's turn.
So I can't hear, which is great. Question for you, Gabe. Those 3 invisible servants would have been with us?
Yes, they're still with Lucian.
Okay. Telepathically, I would like to tell 2 of them to attack.
You
One on
will
each?
have to vocalize it, but they will be able to hear you.
Okay, I will attempt to vocalize that.
Okay.
And then for myself, I'm gonna use 2 AP to charge the Empress, and then I'm gonna punch her in the face or the back or whatever again.
Do you mind if I say how Ronan vocalizes it?
Go for it.
Attack the ice bitch! And a couple
not
Lucians pop out of hiding around the corners, and you see a look of why in her face. Okay, would roll that attack.
I would like to use my last crit,
Gross, go for it.
and because I charged, I do an extra D6 Fury die, I believe.
Yep.
So great, that's a nice, sexy one.
I've never heard that in my life.
And a 3, and 3, so 9 again.
Okay. So another, like, this time it is an actual fist. And even though she grabs it, it does, like, hit her in the chest. And the other Lucians come out and are going to try to just stab at her. Which I was hoping you were going to get rid of all of them, but you did not, which is a shame. Ugh, gross. Ugh, disgusting. Oh, come on.
Go,
Stupid.
Lucian Bot, go!
That's stupid. So a total of, let's see. They come around, one stabs her in the shoulder, the other stabs her in the hip. and you can see like a burst of blood come out that then immediately coagulates, but she sends out a shrieking hiss of pain. Go Gadget Lucian, I hate you, Justin. And you see her panting heavily now. Her eyes start to sink. And it looks like they're like struggling not to like roll back a bit. Lorenzo, it is your turn.
I would like to take.
Excuse me, Jessica, is your turn. Jessica was at 12. Put these in proper number order. There we go. Sorry.
Fantastic. So Jessica has grabbed a heavy book, and just for flavor here, I'm gonna say that it's a giant book of love poems. And Jessica's going to chuck it down at the Empress and yell, "How about this for poetic justice?"
Okay.
The pun alone should kill her.
Are you? Is this a
I'm
roll?
gonna crit.
Oh my god! I knew it. All right. Go ahead and roll your damage.
This is personal. Oh no! It's only a 1, so that's a 6 total.
Thank God. Thank God. The first threshold is
Unless
a 7.
do fate points do anything with inflicting damage, or is it just preventing damage? Because I have fate point left.
We have the game gives you fate points, and I don't think we've ever really looked into it too much. Tom, do you know more about that?
My understanding is they can be used to keep you from dying if you're on the edge of death, or to prevent an injury, like losing your ear.
And I believe they're a permanent loss resource. When you use it, you don't get it back.
Because I used one to prevent damage once. Okay.
So that book
that is-
will fall, and she will freeze it and shatter it as it hits. And when you look at her, Jessica, there is a look of crazed anger in her eyes. And you do see like the poems crumble to like little pieces of ice around her.
Okay. I think I still have 2 action points left. Can I grab another book and throw it at her?
That would technically be a second attack, and you didn't have it, so I would say no.
Okay.
Because you'd have to use one to reload, I guess.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Okay. Then just gonna grab another book and hunker down behind the banister.
God, what a horrible scene. Lorenzo, it is now your turn.
So the Emperor's treating me kind of dismissively. I'm going to spend an action point to take aim, and then I'm going to spend 2 action points to do a called shot that cannot be parried. No, never mind. I'm not going to do called shot. I'm going to do a regular melee attack. But I'm going to use my crit on that as I kind of touch my blade to the dagger as he was like kind of parrying me like out of hand. I kind of like bring my blade up into it and like start moving the dagger, and I pass it to my dagger to get it out of the way, and I'm going to use Fencer's Panache to make him resist a disarm. And I see that lovely fail in Gabe's window that I want to impose. I want the Emperor to drop his dagger.
Ching, 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 ching.
And then I'm going to roll my damage. Ooh, a 1. Guys, you okay using one last fortune token? All right, that one's a 6. I roll another one. So that's so that's 6, 7, 12 damage to the Emperor.
The dagger falls as you pierce through his hand, and another burst of smoke plumes out. And then his forward walking stops. And the blue now becomes a scorching yellow in his eyes.
This would
And the
be a
storm
fantastic-
inside of his body, you see lightning surging.
Lorenzo's gonna like shrink back a little bit and be like, I see you have your full attention now. This would be a fantastic time for my friend the Admiral to be here.
We'll get into that, which is very interesting, actually. So then it is your turn, Shirk.
I think seeing this happen and seeing the change on the Emperor's eyes, Shirk is going to turn to him, and he is going to. He's gonna try to I don't know. I'm trying to use a dirty trick in a flavorful way. So I think I'm gonna spit into his eyes, and I'm sure I've got some blood in my mouth. So basically, for a dirty trick, I make a guile test. You resist with awareness. And let me make a guile test.
A 2.
Oh, you good. Yeah, an 87 is not going to do it. So I can't blind him, which is unfortunate. So instead, I'm just going to take my stiletto and try to stab him with it.
Okay.
Ugh, my gosh. 85. So that's another fail. And
All
I'm just
right.
frantically trying to assist Lorenzo, but not succeeding at it. I'm done. I've got 1 point left on the bank.
Okay. So it is then their turn at the top of the round. And the Empress turns and looks at you, Ronan. Shards of ice covering her wounds. You ignorant flea. And is going to the spear turns into a massive ice claw. And I'm going to use my last crit to slam into Ronan with her ice clawed hand.
Don't forget you have 2 fate points, Gwen.
And that is 2d6. But that d6 explodes. And that 6 explodes. So that is 25 damage to Ronan. Where does that put you, Quinn?
You do have +1 from the thing.
I am slain.
So
Use
as she
that.
slams her claws into Ronan's chest, Ronan, what do you say as she's looking you in the eyes?
At least I died for someone better than you.
And as you all see Ronan, their body starts to turn to ice, and there's a smirk across their face. And over her shoulder, Ronan, for a second, you see Raymond smiling at you. And then you ice over. And the Emperor, he looks at you, Lorenzo, and there's rage in his face. And as his hands surge a little bit, he tries to slam them both onto you. So, let's make that attack. And a 27 will hit. So you can try to parry this if you would like.
Oh,
If
that
you have
is
any people.
not going to do it.
I have a question.
Good.
Can I parry it?
I will let you use your crit to try, if you would like. Or you know what? I will let you use. I will let you use your crit to try, but it is not a sure thing. It will just give you the attempt to do so.
No.
Or
I gotta save that crit.
Or I will give you two options. You can use your crit to try to parry it for Lorenzo, or you can use your crit to intercept it.
Oh, I'll intercept it. That I'll do, for sure.
All
I'll
right.
use that crit to throw myself in front of the Emperor's blade.
All right.
Explode it. Bring it on.
So the Emperor's blade is on the ground, and his hands are surging with lightning. And as he comes forward, you see Lorenzo trying to lean back and almost stumble and fall. And Lorenzo, you put your hands up to block yourself, but then there's a shadow that looms over you. And then sparks as you see Shirk, Hieronymus, hovering over you. And you can see his skeleton as lightning surges through it. So where would 21 put you at, Justin?
It would, theoretically, kill me. But I'm going to use one of my luck points to keep it from pushing me over into slain. And
Okay.
I'll burn that luck point to just sort of catch myself. And so, for now, I am just grievously wounded. So I do have to roll, 4d6 to see if I get an injury. Can you get more than one injury in one turn?
That's a 6.
Yeah, I definitely get an injury, so here comes a D100. What do you think about that? Oh gosh.
Oh.
98.
And on the
Grievously wounded.
grievous injury, you an arterial spray of blood marks your doom. You are
So-
instantly slain.
You have 2 fate points. You could ignore the injury.
No, what a way to go.
Shirk, you
Okay.
do you withstand the lightning, and
Yeah.
for a moment you feel like you're fine. What do you say to Lorenzo as you hover over him?
Well, I think as the Emperor moves in, Shirk is, there's like a split second where Shirk thinks of when he was basically living on the street trying to con people out of money, and he met Lorenzo for the first time, and how he never considered Lorenzo a friend until maybe this experience. And so he sort of sees that, and he gets that blade in the artery, and blood sprays everywhere. I think it almost sprays maybe on Lorenzo. And he sort of sees it, and sees the blood. He goes, "Oh, gazpacho." And then he falls over.
Oh, done. All right. So then, Mari, it would be your turn. No, Cord. It's not Grim, Perilous, and Thirsty. It's just Grim, Perilous, and Sad now.
I love how Gabe's like, I'm gonna kill you all throughout the whole thing, and then at the
I
last
didn't
episode,
want this.
I don't want to kill anyone, and suddenly we just like, no, now it's too late. Now we're just like,
We-
yay.
Technically, have provided a few bodies for the pit thing now.
It's true.
Ah.
It did say the more bodies, the bigger they get.
Yeah, but the
There's
person
2
that
more
made
bodies.
the person that made the bargain is technically among the dead.
Don't worry, I have something for that as well. What you doing,
Right.
Mari?
I'm going to shoot the Empress, but first I have to try and reconnect with the
Fantasy Grounds. Yep.
yeah, because for some reason my connection just dropped. There we go. Nope. That would explain why.
I do believe surviving party members just got credits.
Yeah, if you can check for me real quick, because there's only so many windows I can have open at the moment.
Yep.
Thanks.
Yeah, so it was for Jessica, Mari, and Lorenzo.
I can use real dice real quick while this reconnects.
Yeah, because I think we're having a connection issue, so you're fine with
Yeah.
real dice. It's fine.
So that's still shit. Oh my god, it's not even Fantasy Grounds that I can blame this time around. And I don't have a reroll. I'm going to use that crit I was just donated by someone. Because fuck this at this point. So I'm going to swap over to the whip, walk up to the Empress, and you are, and with every word there's a whip crack, the most annoying, fucked up little twerp I have ever met in my life. And I am attempting that. It's another 6. Staying away, because it's adaptable, not direct melee, so she would have to step up to me. But yeah, that's the attempt. I rolled a 1. 7 damage. This is not my dice day.
7 was what you needed.
What?
Because remember, Jessica got a 6 and it wasn't. It's a 7. So with your whip, the Empress is...
Yep.
She's focused on Ronan still and doesn't see the whip hit her right here in the neck, where there seems to be like a small runic tattoo.
And my attacks ignore the weak thing of weapons, so it can take her down.
So it hits that tattoo, and you see the tattoo, like the skin of the tattoo split. No. And her body starts to freeze from the bottom, going up. She almost tries to take a step forward and it freezes. You ignorant little... And then crumbles to a pool of ice. Is that all you're doing for the rest of your turn, Mari?
I don't think there's anything else I can do. The Emperor is still fizzling with stuff.
Mm-hmm. So then it would be Jessica's turn. Who you can see the Emperor down below. You have seen that the Empress has basically turned to ice.
Yes. So the
And you do
Emperor
have
is still
a
a
big
threat,
old book
right?
in your hand. Yes.
Yeah, I'm gonna throw the book at him.
Go ahead, make that attack.
Book attack, and we just got crits, right?
Yep. You got a crit.
We're gonna use the
Mari
crit.
got a crit, and Lorenzo had gotten a crit.
Ten damage.
Ooh, okay. So for 10 damage, there is a fracture that appears on the back of his neck from where your book collides.
Awesome.
And you see him kind of just look up. And there's, for the first time, really, what looks to be a mouth scowling.
Okay. Then I'm gonna yell out like, "Hey, Chris, there's a couple more bodies if you wanna, use those and take this guy out." It's what Shirk would have wanted.
Is that what you're doing for the rest of your turn?
and duck down behind the banister again.
All right, Lorenzo, it is now your turn.
Lorenzo is going to just like wipe at his face and see Shirk's blood. And it's just now ice cold. Just starts walking towards the Emperor, holding like his blades out to either side. Just walking, and takes a huge telegraph swing with the rapier. And I'm going to use a crit. And when he reacts to that, I'm driving the dagger into the back of his neck where the fissure just got opened. And I rolled a 1 for damage. It's 6 damage.
6 will not be enough for him.
I knew I should have charged.
I will give it to you if you would like, because it is the finale. It would make sense. You've done that every other time. I will let you roll that extra d6.
This is that's 7.
A 7 will not, sadly.
Wow.
Point out, Fantasy Grounds here, like, how many damage rolls have we had ones for?
I've had a lot of 6s. It's been a good day for
Yeah,
me.
I've had a lot of ones, so if they hit, which they never did.
So Lucian stands up this time. And you hear the whir of a device. Because all that you really needed to do in this circumstance was keep Lucian alive and have a certain amount of time pass. And you've done enough damage to the Emperor that his contained body is leaking a bit. And Lucian runs up with this device and then essentially slams it onto the back of the Emperor, who turns for a minute to look at Lucian, grabs the dagger, and then the frame of his body stops as the mist is pulled into the device itself and falls to the ground. And that is the end of initiative.
I am heading over to Shark's body, picking up the
Lorenzo,
Swinomicon.
And Wilbur did crumble when Shirk fell.
And I will hold the book and speak into the book, because Mari doesn't know how books work. If you're still there, you swine peanut demon, can we get? There's a body. Can you make it not be a body? Can you please give me the ogre? The ogre back, please and thank you.
You don't hear anything.
Lorenzo's a mess right now. He is just like taking the first piece of cloth he could find and is pressing it on the wound, just being like, no, come on, buddy. Come on, buddy. Show me something.
Jessica's walked downstairs and is repeatedly stabbing the ice that is the leftovers of the Empress with her dagger. And
Turning
just,
over
like,
and
blind
Lorenzo's gonna
rage.
be like, Jessica, check Ronan. They're over there.
And Ronan is a frozen statue
Oh,
with a
Yeah,
smirk
that's
on
right.
their face.
Yeah, Jessica's just like, I'm pretty sure Ronan's gone. I don't know how you come back from that.
And you see Lucian stand up, walks over to Ronan. And there's like a heavy look in his eyes. I wish you had lied. And I think that may actually be a delightful place to round up the Gala of the Damned. Now, to answer a few questions, The reason you did not see Logan is because the Admiral killed him. The Admiral was the one who had removed him from that equation, and the Empress is just a disgusting character.
Now she's a
And-
disgusting puddle.
Near the end, after you all split, Lucian continues to keep touch with those of you. And Lorenzo, a day later, you're walking around, having a meal outside, and a small creature walks up to you, a pig. And it just looks at you and sits.
I'm going to offer it some gazpacho.
And it just starts munching it up.
Hmm.
But let's go around one more time to talk to my delightful cast, the cast of the Gala of the Damned. We'll start with you, Ronan.
Hi, hello, I'm Quinn. I'm doing great. You can find me on Twitter at Quintastic_, same on Instagram. This was a blast. Fuck. Sorry that I got this video demonetized earlier. Y'all were amazing. What a great cast. Holy shit. And Gabe, what can I say? But wow. Fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, as for plugs, I write games and you should follow me on socials because I'm gonna be taking a break for a little bit from things. So, yeah.
Well done. And what a way for Ronan to bring it around. So, Hieronymus, also Shirk. Please.
F's in chat.
Go on. Yeah. You're
yeah,
a monster
hey.
for that.
Yeah. Man. I'll talk about this character. So, one of the cool things about Zweihander as a system is you get to, they have this thing called the Grim and Perilous method, where you can just randomly roll up this character, which I think some of us did, and I love doing that, where you just basically roll for everything. You roll for their ancestry and for their abilities and their lifestyle and their career and all those things. And I started rolling it up, and I got this ogre. And I remember getting these high intelligence scores and like charmingness scores, and I remember talking to Quinn. We were talking over Discord, and I was like, "This guy's like the anti-Shirk, or the anti-Shrek. You know, he's like the opposite of Shrek. I should call him Shirk." And it was a big joke. And then I kept rolling him up. I'm like, I kind of love this idea of an ogre who's a con man and uses his sort of brutish facade to swindle the aristocracy out of money. And I didn't know I'd love this character so much. I thought it was going to be a joke. And but it was fun. Like, we had so much fun, and I loved being able to play him for these last however many weeks, 6 weeks or whatever. He was a delight, and I love that he has possibly been reincarnated into a pig. Who knows? I'm Doc Rimbo. I'm Doc Rimbo on Twitter. I'm Doc Rimbo on the Encounter Roleplay Discord, where you can come and hang out with us at any time. Let's see, what's coming up for me? Oh, this fall on Encounter Roleplay, we've got one-shot Wednesdays, and I get to run one of those one-shots. And our applications for those close on the 5th of this month. So if you haven't applied, go and apply. I'm going to be running a game of Fiasco, which is a really fun role-playing game. And I just want cool people to be in it, so please apply. And if I could play with all these folks again, I would, because I love all of you guys so much. And Gabe, so good, so well done. And special thanks to you. So, Doc Rimbo, thanks, and soup, etc., etc.
All right, Jessica Tracy.
Yeah. Oof. This was a lot of fun, and I'm really sad that it's over now. But that was really really good. Jessica was interesting because a bit like Shirk, I was like, I am in like 9 other games every week, and I have like run out of ideas for characters. But a private detective type character in this setting might be kind of fun. Um, and I was just kind of like, I will make her kind of like Jessica Jones um, and just roll with it. Um, but I started doing a lot of the random roll stuff in Zweihander as well, because this is my first experience with the system, and it really helped flesh out the character and make her a little more 3-dimensional. And then just the random weird stuff you start out with in your inventory based on your choices. That is why leech attack was a thing, because I never would have had a jar of leeches on my own. That and the Quicksilver. So like the Logan's death, or Logan's avatar's death, I guess, was entirely because of just the random stuff that you get in Zweihander, and me going, I am woefully underpowered versus these, aristocrats with magical powers and things. What can I possibly cook up with the stuff that I have on me? So yeah, that was kind of Jessica in a nutshell. Is like, what can I MacGyver into a weapon to have a slight chance of surviving this? So it was a lot of fun, and I think Jessica grew through the whole thing. By the end, she wasn't just about money; she was ready to overthrow all of the aristocrats and nobles. I feel like she will go on to lead a revolution or movement of some sort after this. Either that or start like a Shirk Foundation for scholarships for ogres to go to university, or both. But yeah, all of that was great. I really enjoyed the whole thing. This cast is phenomenal. And Gabe, holy crap, such a good DM. I really loved it. So yeah, where you can find me, stuff that I'm doing. Doc mentioned the one shots. I'm also going to be doing one of those. I'm going to be running Fundamental RPG, which is actually my own system. So I'm very excited to share that with all of you. Definitely go sign up for the cast for all of those, because I've seen some of the DMs that are going to be on that production, and it's going to be amazing. So yeah, that's great. And then where you can find me next, in about 3 hours, I'll be over on my channel, twitch.tv/RAVVYN, just like it says right there, without the in front of it, for Tickfall Files, where I'm playing a different kind of private detective in a very different setting. And it's going to be creepy and fun. Yeah, that's me.
Mari Hellborn, you live up to your name, because you are absolute chaos.
I mean, that's not my name, but yeah. Felborn, we talked about that.
Right. Oh my gosh, every time.
I mean, I now wish I would have named her the other thing, because it works a lot better. What a roller coaster, though. Like the amount of creepy horror to absolute silly slapstick and carry on humor, especially the carry on humor. Let's be honest, that was pretty much such a staple of this group, and then to end basically from something like Thirst Alert to absolute in the feels, it really takes a toll on your brain, but I loved it, every moment of it, with a really funky mix of characters as well, from basically Inigo Montoya with a better hat, let's be honest. And thank you so much, Tom, for all that rule support there, because I was so lost sometimes. I think that applies to to most people who play a new system, but it really shows what Zweihander can do. You can play all these different campaigns in it. And then Jessica with the goddamn leeches, which you will never live down. Just the absolute nonchalance and not giving a fuck. That's life goals. And I'm so proud of you, Quinn, for not going Violetta. I'm so happy about that. And I'm like, that was my emotional moment. Not even the ending part so much, but that's just like that. Yes, this is the... because I honestly would have been mad at you if you'd gone Violetta again. I would have been like, not seriously, of course, but just yeah. I'm really happy about that, and I think it made for such a valuable payoff at the end. And how dare you die on me, Justin? We will have words later. And thank you so much, Gabe, for. I mean, I've said it before, not just rolling with the punches and dishing them out, but just making this such a really, really great back and forth between all these personalities, because that is a task as a GM. That is such a task, and you mastered it wonderfully. So I'm really happy about this campaign. Thanks to all of you guys.
Last but not least, Lorenzo Daraya of this delightful party.
Oh. Man, this campaign was amazing. First of all, just a phenomenal cast. Starting, of course, with our GM, Gabe. You did an amazing job. This was such a ride. Very immersive. Very like I could. There are so many parts I could just see in my head. And you rolled with our like just silliness so well and turned it into real story. Players. I mean, Justin and Lydia. I've played with both of you a bunch, and it never disappoints. And I've watched Quinn and Raven on stream before, but it was an absolute honor to play with both of you. That was so much fun. The ingenuity of Jessica and the overall arc of Ronan, their arc was so good. And yeah, I feel like for me, the real like emotional turning point of all this is when Ronan decided to die doing the right thing. That was really big. And for the system, I love Zweihander. This is the first time being a player in it, and I went the opposite direction of the. I designed my character because I've always wanted to play a sword fighter who felt like a sword fighter, and I felt like the system could provide that, and it really, really came through, which was really fun. It's always fun to have a character concept, both like a person in your head, but also a mechanic in your head, and have it work. And Zweihander did that very nicely. And man, the feels at the end of this episode, it was pretty intense. You can find me here on Encounter Roleplay. First of all, this Friday, the little community game of going through the Wildmount book that we've been doing has been picked up by Encounter Roleplay, and we're going to be on Encounter Roleplay this Friday. I know, Quinn, we just missed having you on there. So yeah, that game, we're gonna be wrapping up an adventure that we're on this Friday, and then the new season we're gonna be doing the final adventure in the Wildmount book, and I will also be GMing a game for the One Shot Wednesday during next season.
There's a lot happening. I am your Dreadlord, Gabe James Games. This was a fantastic game that I got the chance to DM. Again, thank you to all of the people who have sponsored us. Thank you to Fantasy Grounds for giving us the place to roll. Thank you to Zweihander for giving us this game to work with. And thank you again to World Anvil for giving us a fantastic way to build our worlds. Thank you to this fantastic cast, and thank you to Encounter Roleplay for giving us a place to tell this story. I wasn't entirely sure what I wanted to do with this story. I literally came into it saying, I have a paragraph that was, well, I didn't even tell them. I had a paragraph of description for each of the main players, and I didn't even know who was the one trying to kill Lucien until the party did. And it was a fantastic way to test that level of storytelling and just enjoy a fantastic story with these players. So again, do not go anywhere because we have the One Shot for Cult coming up. But thank you all of you for attending this absolutely dreadful Gala of the Damned.